Hi everyone. So my name is Krishna, and I am part of Edureka for close to 2.5 years, and have close to 15 years of teaching experience, and I'm into one-on-one trainings, direct corporate trainings, and online trainings. That's more about me. So let's jump into our topic today, Python regular expressions. So what do you know about regular expressions? Regular expressions is actually kind of a language that help you to do pattern matching. With that, you can crawl any website, you can even match certain strings, and you can get what you want. Those are all is pretty much possible with regular expressions. So that's the main idea behind using regular expressions. Do you guys know where exactly regular expressions are used? So where actually regular expressions are used is whenever you create an email, there will be a registration page, right? And it asks you username and password. And when you don't follow certain rules, password has certain rules, right? You have to give it as a combination of lowercase letter, uppercase letter, and a special character and a digit. Something like that rules will be there. So now whenever you don't follow the rules, it automatically pops down an error saying you are not following the rules. Maybe you should check it. So how do you think that validation is happening? It is not happening because of those email servers. That means let's say Google hosting that email server like Gmail, or Yahoo hosting that email server like Yahoo Mail. Those requests, when you actually create during registration for username and password validation, those requests will not go to their servers. It will happen in your browser itself. And how it happens in your browser itself is because of regular expressions. There inside in the JavaScript, they actually write regular expressions in such a way so that the browser itself validate whether you're following the rules. This way you are reducing the load to the server by sending these requests which are not really necessary because it's more of a validation. That is one very popular use case. Every email registration, every account registration, like Amazon, when you go, they ask you to register your account. All this, the validation part happens in your browser itself, and it is all because of the magic of regular expression, because it can do the pattern matching easily. Another advantage with the regular expressions is when you see in the real world, you can even crawl the page. Crawling the page is not part of regular expression. Like you can get, first you have to download a page you want using whatever mechanism, either manually or using some automated fashion by using request library in Python. Once you download the page, if you want to get the required content, you can still use regular expression. So scraping also is possible with regular expression. So those are the high level benefits. Apart from that, if you look at some websites validate when you don't give a credit card or debit card number properly. That is also getting validated by regular expressions. So these are the use cases that actually make regular expressions very popular, and it is like one important concept in every programming language. So today we are going to learn what is that being offered in Python. So the agenda is what is Python? What are regular expressions, which we already was discussing? Why do we need? That also we discussed. And what are the different regular expressions in Python? Regular expression functions, match object, email and phone number verification, web scraping. So what we do is we will do by hands-on rather than just going through PPT. That way you have more clarity. So what is Python basically? Python is basically a language created by an applied mathematician called Guido van Rossum. It is created in 1980s and first released in 1991. It's basically a high-level general-purpose programming language which uses both procedure-oriented as well as object-oriented. When I say high-level language, any language which allows you to write the code in English is called as a high-level language. And here when I say general-purpose language, it simply means that the language is not not particularly designated or restricted to one domain. Like you might have seen languages like, for example, R, if you see, it is mostly used for statistical application and data science. That's it. And if you see MATLAB, it is used for scientific applications. If you see Fortran, again, scientific applications. COBOL, business applications. So there are certain domains they are tied, every language if you look at, most of the languages. But Python is not like that. You can use for scientific application, you can use for data science, you can use for ML, you can use for AWS Cloud Compute, you can use for anything. That's why it means general purpose. And object oriented, it uses two different program styles. One is object oriented, another is procedural programming. So procedural programming is not mentioned here, but it does use that. And apart from the two other approaches also it follow to a very basic extent. One is called meta programming, another is called functional programming. And apart from that, Python relies mostly on indentations to describe your code. Whereas in other languages, you might see some flower braces and all. In Python, it's not like that. It's all indentations is the key to understand what you are writing. Now, what is regular expression? Regular expression, if you see, it's nothing but a like expression. What do you mean by expression? It is set of operators and operands, right? You have a plus b, or you have 1 plus 2. That's an arithmetic expression. Similar to that, regular expression also have some symbols using which you form a pattern. So it's simply a sequence of patterns, sequence of characters that you use to define a pattern. It's actually part of mathematics. If you guys are from computer background, you might heard about finite auto theory of automata. That's one subject in computer engineering. When you guys, whoever has studied computer engineering, they might have got the subject. In that subject, this is one of the concept, regular expression. It actually started from this clean mathematician. Actually, he derived this after they saw a lot of applications in mathematics and other fields. They started implementing in programming language also. Now, why do we need? We also discussed a couple of use cases, right? Like if at all you want to verify a format of a string, like for example, like a called out username format or password rules, all this structure, if you want to validate, you can easily do that with regular expression by not causing load to your server. Apart from that, let's say you want to extract some substring from strings, you can do that. You can do search, replace, rearranging, whatnot, and you can even split the string into tokens also. We will see some of these. So what are regular expressions? Regular expressions actually is offered by a package called RE. RE is the module. Python actually behaves like a plug and play model where whichever library you want to work on a particular application, you just need to find a library. In order to work on regular expression, you need to use this library called RE. And once you use RE, you can start programming by picking the function from this RE module. And where you can find documentation about these particular RE is, you can always go and search in internet saying RE Python documentation. And you see, this is the documentation given by Python on what and all functions is there and all that. So keep that handy if you want to work more on regular expression and you want to go deep into it. We'll see some of the common things which is used in regular expression to actually give you a fair idea of how things work. Now, what are the different types of regular expression functions we have? We have something called match, we have something called search, we have find all, we have split sub. Instead of talking about this, it's better that we look at them. It will give more clarity. So I'm just starting hands-on from here so that you have better clarity. So what I did is I was just preparing the notes, but I was not able to do it, but that's fine. So let's say you have a lowercase alphabet like this, or let's say this is your sentence. Let's pick this. Now, this sentence, once you get it, let's say if somebody asks you, can you tell me whether in the string sentence lazy is there or not? So using regular expression, you can easily detect that. There is a function called search. You can just say re.search and you can say lazy and you can give the sentence. So the syntax of any regular expression function will be like this. It will have first the pattern, then the input string. So here, this is the input string and this is the pattern. Okay. And here, if you look at regular expressions always works on strings only. So even if you want to work it on a file, you have to convert that into a string and do it. Now, whenever you do a search on any particular regular expression, like using search, the way it comes back is like this. So if at all there is a match happen, it shows you a regular expression object like this. If the match didn't happen, like in this case, let's say I'm putting something else, there is no match happen. So when there is no match happened, it returns a string called none. Here our Google Colab is not showing us. Let me print and see if I can show you that. See, this is what it is thrown. So what you need to understand is whatever string you are asking it to find in a given sentence, asking it to search, if there is a match, it will return you a regular expression object. If there is no match, it will return you none. That is how the search behaves. If there is a match, it is telling it is a match object and it is telling from which character to which character it matched. So 35 to 29 is the position of this string. That is what it says. This is the 35 to 39. And what does it match? It says this. That is how the search behaves. So as you see, when there is a match, it says there's a match happened and what position happened. When there's no match, it simply says none to you back. That is how it behaves. Now, let's say there is lazy multiple times like this. And you want to extract all the lazy words like in this. There are 2 times, right? Let's say there is a lazy here also. Now, how to extract? If you say this, the search will just find the first word you're searching, like only the first one. So as soon as it finds lazy at this point, it will not go beyond. That is how the regular expression behaves. So what if you want to extract all this? That means you want to get this, you want to get this, you want to get this, all this you want to get. Then what you can do is you can use a function called find all. So find all function helps you to get all occurrences of a particular pattern you're searching, and you can simply say sentence, and it gets you all the occurrences of lazy. So you can see that it simply extracted everything. And here, when it is like when there is a match, it gives you the all the sentences back to you. And when there is no match, here in this case it is match, that's why it extracted all of it. When there is no match, what it does is, like I have put some unmatched thing, it will give you an empty list. That is how this find all behaves. So if you see, find all and sentence search is more over same, just that search gives you only if it is matching or not, and it stops at the first match happened. Whereas find all is not like that. It goes up to the end and gets or extracts all the words you need based on the pattern you have put up. Okay, so similarly, you have other functions like re.match, which is not popularly used. The problem I'll show you with the re.match, it is in sync with this search. The search and match is both same, but most of the time people use search. The reason I'll show you, they work the same way. If I put like this, re.match will not match. When it doesn't match, it will not return anything like this. The reason is the lazy is there in this sentence. Why it is not matching is, in the case of match, what it expects is, it expects you to start matching from beginning to ending, even though you are interested only in this. That is how match is. Whereas when you give search, you can give only the pattern you are interested in and it just searches for it. Whereas this guy is not like that. You have to give the format from beginning to ending, irrespective of whether you like it or not. Since we don't know what is that, so I'm just putting from placeholders like this. See, now it matched. So what I did is I did dot star and I did dot star. So dot indicates any number of characters and I said star. Star means repeat as many times as you want. So which means repeat as many times as you want. So I said lazy can be in between any of the set of characters which can repeat them as many times. So you see, these are set of characters including space, and these are the set of characters including space, all that. So it is like you have to give the format from beginning to ending. That's why we have to do all this, extra effort here. That's the reason people don't use match, because they are interested only in age. Why they have to put the format just for the sake of this match to happen? That's why they avoid it and mostly use search. In fact, all the regular expression, if you really want to work, these two functions are more than sufficient. If you have good on all of this, most of the things can be done. This is one use case. Now let's take, for example, if you have a string like this, and you have something like ABC, XYZ, hello world. And my requirement is I want to split each of these by each of these like this. The output I want to get is, it is like ABC. I want to get something like XYZ, hello, comma world. That means a list of words is what I need to get. Now, even if string function, like in Python, you have string function that has a Python, you have a string data type that has a function called string split. Even though you use it, the problem is split. If you use the split function in string, you can see what would happen. It will split only based on the first delimiter you asked. And you cannot give multiple delimiters here. Even though you give multiple delimiters, it doesn't behave anything like that. It doesn't work because it is not built for it. Whereas in regular expression, we have a corresponding split function where you see that guy can magically get you all the words with just one shot. You see, it automatically breaks. So here, the way it works is this square brackets you have put, right? In the square brackets, if you see, I have put the different types of separators, which is there in the string, semicolon, pipe, comma, I put it in square bracket. Square bracket is called character class in regular expression, which means any of these characters are there, you just break them into words. In one shot, I said, and it automatically takes care of splitting whenever these characters are encountered. So when it encounters semicolon, it splits. When it encounters pipe, it splits. When it encounters comma, it splits. So like that, it will split and give you that. This is one of the very useful function. Okay. Now coming to sentence, if you see sentence here, let's say in this sentence, lazy, I want to replace with, the quick brown, something like instead of lazy, let's say he's healthy, something like that. What if I want to replace all the occurrences of lazy with healthy? Now, what are the ways? Here in regular expression, we have a way called sub, where you can say replace lazy with healthy. And what is your input string? You see, it automatically replaced the lazy wherever is there, it replaced with healthy. So automatically it replaced everything. So sub acts like your Unix sed command, where it is Unix set command is called as a stream editor, where it helps you to do these kind of substitution or replacement. So these are the commonly used function in regular expression which have been shown up here. We have looked into each one of those. Okay, now here they will give the examples. We'll see one phone number. This one of the use case also we will see. So if you want to validate phone numbers, let's say there is a phone number like this, 123 hyphen this hyphen this, and you want to validate if it is a correct phone number or not, you can validate with regular expression. You can just say if re.search, you can say 3 hyphen backslash d3 hyphen backslash d4, you can give phone numbers. So you see, I have given the phone number and I have put a pattern. Backslash D here indicates a digit, one character, a digit. So I'm saying one character digit can repeat 3 times. You see the pattern, digit is repeated 3 times, digit is repeated 3 times, digit is repeated 4 times. That's the same pattern I have put. Digit repeated 3 times, hyphen, there is a hyphen here. Digit repeated 3 times, yes, hyphen, again hyphen, then digit repeated 4 times. I have put that pattern. Only when that pattern matches, it says it's good. Now, what if you have put this like this? Will it match? No, it says there is a problem. Okay, what does it say? Okay, why it's staying still? It should get given number is not valid. So now you see it expects a separator. So let's say there is a separator. I have put before that there should be a separator, or I can even do this. Let's try this as well. Regular expression is more about experimentation. So you have to try out different combination to see which one will work. So I said the string has to start with a phone number and it should have this pattern. So I defined the structure. Cap indicates the string must start with. So here you see whenever you give a wrong number, it automatically violates the rule and it says this is wrong. This is how you can validate phone number. Similarly, you can validate email, lot of these things. The same way, when you put a credit card debit now number will get validated using regular expression on the browser. This is how generally people use in a day-to-day real-time situation. So we have seen how to verify a phone number. You can even do web scraping, but for the sake of web scraping, one thing I want to tell you is regular expression can only scrape the data. That means once you have the text as a string, it can get it. But in order to get from web, let's say this is my web page. In order to get from web page, regular expression cannot do anything. This entire thing has to be passed as a string. So in order to get this page, what you have to do is you have to use a library called request, and that request library and that using request library is what you need to get that particular page. So it is request. So you see, I'll put content. So once you get it, so this creates that response back. And if you want to get the HTML content, there is content.text. So this is how you have to first download a page. So this is the actual HTML content. That means whatever page you are seeing, right? That HTML page it downloaded for us. So after this, you can apply regular expression, but directly you cannot download anything using regular expression. Regular expression can work only when you download the page. And how you download? Something like this request library where you can use, and you can use this function to download a particular page. And after that, just do content.text. You will get all the page, web page, and that web page you can crawl like the way we actually applied on the strings. That's all. Clear? Now one more thing I would like to talk, which I have parked is, we have one course called Python certification training where it helps you to get a good hands on Python. And it also covers, particularly on this fourth module, it covers a deep knowledge on how regular expression you can use, how you can do hands on so you get a good hold of it and all. So it covers a lot of Python things required, just like the topic we discussed. So if you are interested, you can take a look at it and can contact our support team on the same. So that's all, guys. I'm done for the session. Thank you all. See you then.